Hey guys, Ryan here. It's 2 o'clock on Tuesday. Hope you're doing well. I am Ryan Steinelson, the founder of DIY AI, and I am here today to do the same thing that we always do, which is to help business owners identify what is going on with AI and how to leverage artificial intelligence to help convert more leads and to generate more leads for your business and to really leverage artificial intelligence to help get back more of the time that you that you have by giving more of your workflow to the agent to give as the title of today's workshop says, your agent's hands and connect. By doing that, what you're doing is, or in doing that, what you're doing is you're connecting it to tools and you're letting the agents run on an ongoing basis to actually get things done. So we do these workshops every Tuesday. My hope is that I'll get people to join the workshop that have questions, and well, if you do, I'll go over specific issues that you have or questions that you might have and answer them live. If we don't get anybody that joins the workshop, then what we'll do is we'll just go through the topic. So if you have any questions, you can go to our website. It's DIYai.ai. You can go to our school community. That's school, SKOOL.com/DIYai. And then our phone number is 561-861-3238. Again, 561-861-3238. I'm also the founder of a digital marketing agency called Accelerate Marketing. It's been around for almost 2 decades. And I'm just going to go over the topics. If you have any questions, you can ask them from whatever live platform that you're watching this from, whether that's YouTube or LinkedIn or X or Instagram or Facebook, and even on the recording. I will respond to those questions, gladly from anybody that asks questions from the recording as well. So the as it says in the school community, you can see, the description and the title, agents with hands, connect your agents and let them run the work. So an AI that can only chat is a toy. An AI that can open your browser, read your Gmail, and run on a schedule is an employee. So this week I'm turning a plain assistant into an agent with hands. Now this can be done with Google. This can be done with, any large language model. OpenAI, ChatGPT, Claude, you name it. They can all be used to create an agent that can get work done for your business or for your practice. So you can hand your agent, once it's connected to the platforms that you use, and once you give it a regular time to perform those tasks that you assign to those connected platforms. That's all it is really, when I'm talking about giving the AI hands and the ability to do things, I'm just talking about the fact that you can connect your agent to different systems or tools that you're already using, which might be Gmail. They could be lead generation tools like Clay. They could be, CRM tools like Go High Level. They could be, QuickBooks for doing accounting. It could be, Gmail, Google Docs, etc. Those are all tools that are used to get things done. And now agents can even use your browser. So it's not just about connecting to those tools. It's giving them access to the keys that are left in a vault or a .env file on your computer that are behind a firewall that would make it so that they're safe, so that only your agent has access to them, or you can give your agent access to those tools via what's called an MCP or through an API. So this is what, for example, if you wanted to connect to X or Twitter, you're going to have to create an OAuth access or an MCP access sometimes in order to give your agent access to some of these tools that you're not able to just make a connection with. So there's connectors on Claude, and ChatGPT uses, I forget what their names are, but it's their name is, but it's something similar to connectors that basically make it so that you just click a button and then you log in to whatever tool it is, whether it's like any mail finder or instantly if you're doing lead generation or whatever. And then all of a sudden, Claude has access to that tool now. Okay. So let me know if you guys have any questions about that. By the way, you can join our school community. It's totally free. And I really recommend, I'll show my screen here so that you can see. Okay. All right. So this is the school community. This is the post that I made on the school community. And here's the post here. So this is here, let me see. You can see, look at this. I mean, we've got a decent number of people that are in the community here. And you can see that, I've made these posts that correspond to the calendar here. So you can always see when we're live, which is, again, 2:00 on Tuesdays. You can go to the members tab to see all the members. We're growing fairly rapidly. We've got 65 members now. And if you want to go to the classroom, there is some free content there. And the key, though, is joining and actually joining these workshops, because that's where you get the most, the most value. So anyway, like I was saying, one of the topics is using or connecting your agent to your browser, and you can do this very easily. It's actually baked into the Claude desktop app, which is this right here. So all you got to do is go to Claude.ai. And they did, by the way, change Claude. So it's just code and chat. And so now you've got the ability to be able to use co-work is no longer a separate thing. This is where you go between chat and co-work, which is kind of nice. So, and people are understanding now that, and they're really associating the difference between chat and actually getting work done, which I think Claude's done a really good job of branding their large language model with co-work, because people associate Claude with actually getting workflows done. And so, but now what Claude has done is they've actually to simplify things, they've made it so that chat and co-work are in the same place. And by the way, if you guys are not using Fable 5, I definitely recommend that you do. And you can always see your usage of any one of these models by clicking on this little this little circle down here, and you can see your usage. You can see the current usage for all models, and then Fable 5. I've only got 2% of my Fable 5 usage used. So if this resets this Tuesday, which would be today at 12 a.m., then I want to use a lot more of this. I'm really curious if it's actually today or next week. Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out here because I mean I'm telling you, Fable 5 is a whole different animal, and it can really get things done faster for you. And if you don't know, I mean, the way that you switch on Fable 5 is you just go right here and then, okay, included until July 19th. So it's till next week. It just reset yesterday, which is what I thought, because I used all of my Fable 5 usage up until yesterday, which I recommend that you do as well. And then if you turn on Fable 5, you can identify what level of effort that you want it to use. And, Ultra Code will burn through tokens. Okay. So you definitely don't want to use like Ultra unless you absolutely have to. But this is, if the more, this is faster and this is smarter. I generally lean towards like, I'll go slower, but make sure that the model is smarter and gets. So I really like the max effort, and it'll give you insights here. It takes longer and uses limits faster if you've got higher effort. Okay, so really good to know. So I hope that makes sense, and but I definitely recommend that you use Fable 5 as much as you can. And I mean, it's almost a crime to not utilize all of your weekly Fable 5 access, which you can see I've only used 2% of it. And I've got a week. So I got a week left. So I want to really make sure that I use it sparingly. And so I've got enough of that limit left, because it's an amazing tool. And you really want to use it for your high level, very important reasoning. That's what I do. My coding I do with Codex, because it's a really good coding tool, and it also uses the tokens much more efficiently. So I'm gonna go back here. So yeah, so Claude Code can use your desktop. So let me go and find a form I can use with Claude Desktop. Okay. I want to find a form somewhere. Man, I wanted to find a form so that you guys can see this. Anyway, I mean, Claude can use your desktop. Here, I'm gonna say, hey, that's the other thing is I use my folder system to identify where I want the content to go, so that I can keep everything separate that's in its own, or should be in its own container. That way it's easier to reference the information when I want to reference information about a particular topic in the future. So if I don't already have a folder, then I'll create one. So this would be here. I'm gonna use. I know there's one for Fable 5 somewhere. Okay. So show me how you would use my desktop to fill out a form for me. All right, so I'm using Opus 4.8, and I'm saying, look, show me how you would use the desktop. And let's see how long it takes to do this. And by the way, you can do this with Codex. Codex was really the first one that started using desktop very efficiently and effectively. Let's see how long it takes to do this. I'm gonna 30 seconds. It's thinking, and yeah, I'd really like for it to be on fast mode. Yeah, it's on fast mode. And it should open a desktop tab here in a second so that you guys can see that. While it's doing that, I'm going to let it run. And then the other thing is connecting it to your Gmail, your calendar, your CRM. And this is just the connections that I was talking about last week. So if you go here and you go to customize and you go to connectors, you'll see the different connectors that you can connect to, like Canva, Clay, Composio. Composio is great, by the way, because if you don't see the connector here, you can connect to other connectors using Composio that might not be available directly on Claude. And what's great is that you can connect Claude or ChatGPT or Hermes Agent or OpenClaw to Composio, and you can take all these connectors with you so that you don't have to reconnect every single time that you use a different tool. So that way, because a lot of people like myself, what I'll do, I want to use the subscription that I have because it's the cheapest tokens that I can possibly get. You basically get the tokens at like 1/10 the cost, or like I'd say about half the cost at least. So I want to use my subscription with Claude, and once I use Claude up, then I'll go over to Codex, and then once I go to use up Codex, I'll use Hermes Agent, and Hermes Agent uses the APIs. Now I am going to Grok as well. Grok is another up and comer. I mean, they are amazing. That the speed at which that tool, that large language model, is able to get things done is next level. So if you're, let's see what it's saying here. It should okay. It's wanting me to use contacts. Okay. So it's going to use contacts. All right. So now you see it's minimizing my screen or minimizing its screen. So it's showing me it's using the desktop. Okay. I don't know if you saw that, but it should be using my desktop somewhere. I think it's using it here. Yep. And it should show it here in a second. So anyway, that's what Composio is. That's hopefully you guys. It's using browser mode here, and which is another option. I'm saying use my browser, and it's and okay, where did Yeah, I took over the browser. Okay, so let me. So you got. Let me get rid of this. Okay, so you hopefully are still able to see my screen. I'm gonna. Okay, I think you are. Okay, good. So that's how you connect it to your Gmail, etc. All right, I'm gonna pause it because it's starting. It's trying to like take over everything. Okay, but you get the point. It'll take over your browser and it'll get things done. um, so that's the other thing that you can do. Yeah, we didn't find the form. And the final one is set it and forget it. So this is what I talked about before, which is cron jobs. So cron jobs are set up here where it says routines. This is where you can identify all of the routines or chronological jobs that are done on a regular basis. You can see I've got a bunch of them. And you could see, like, if I pull this one up, which is the morning follow up and burn watch. So here's the steps that it follows in order to fulfill this particular cron job. This is a scheduled task. It's triggered by Claude. Stop immediately and return. These are the instructions. So absolutely safe rules from Ryan's memory. You can see when it was actually implemented. Today at 11:40. Today at 9:05. Yesterday, it goes twice a day at 9:05 a.m. and then it looks like 11:10 a.m. as well. So if I want to go to that particular running of that particular job, then this is it. And this shows you what the result was. So if you combine these chronological or routines, these jobs that are done on a routine basis with your connectors, and you give it access to log in and use your computer, you can see where the agent can get a lot more done than it normally would. It can actually do things on your behalf that normally you wouldn't think would be available or able for the agent to do on its own without access like you're giving it. So I hope that makes sense. If you guys have any questions, please give us a call. Like I said, you can go to our website, diyai.ai. You can go to our school community, ask any questions there. It's free. Again, diyai.ai. You can also call us or text us at 561-861-3238. And I look forward to answering any questions that you have. All right, thanks. Have a great day. We'll see you next week, hopefully. Bye-bye.